of this. I'm Jennifer Verbeck, president of AIA Maryland. As the AIA prepares to celebrate World Architecture Month, which starts tomorrow for the month of October, we're excited to celebrate the Excellence in Design Awards with you this evening. AIA Maryland was founded in 1965 and serves to be the voice of architecture, advancing the profession and the built environment in Maryland. With over 1,800 members, AIA Maryland is managed by a board of directors with representatives from each of our 3 local components: Baltimore, Chesapeake Bay, and Potomac Valley. I'd like to thank our board of directors for their service and dedication, and I'd like to give special recognition to our executive director, Sandy Worthman, who works tirelessly to support us in more ways than can be recounted here. Tonight's program is being live streamed from the State Chapter House in Annapolis. And we want to give a special shout out to AIA Chesapeake Bay, who's celebrating tonight with their annual crab feast and including this live stream in their event. Thank you to Kevin Utz and Matthew Ormsby for arranging that. Crabs and great design. Sounds like a good evening to me. I'd like to thank the 2021 Awards Committee, Larry Frank, AIA Potomac Valley, Elizabeth Nook, AIA Baltimore, Matthew Ormsby, AIA Chesapeake Bay, and Jennifer Verbeck, myself, AIA Maryland President. Special thanks also to Kelly Vallon of AIA Chesapeake Bay for her Zoom expertise and managing the technical side of this evening's program. To introduce our jury, your 2021 Excellence in Design Awards jury is from AIA Georgia. It's comprised of Nicole Seekley, AIA, Mark Chen, AIA, Dagmar B. Epstein, FAIA, Desmond Johnson, AIA, and Christian Sotil, AIA. Here is jury chair Nicole Seekley with comments and overall impressions of our awards program. Good evening.
Choice to go with a young professional for this position, so I hope the Design Awards Committee and you all, the AIA Maryland chapter members, feel the jury has acknowledged appropriately all the excellent work your chapter has been producing this year. The jury, all of us being from Georgia, met in person for an entire day to deliberate the projects submitted. We had many intriguing conversations, thought-provoking debates, and often animated, sometimes maybe too animated, opinions about the work presented to us. We thoroughly enjoyed getting to know more about the development and growth in Maryland, as well as the work done elsewhere in the nation by Maryland's architects. The deliberations were not easy, as the excellency and relevancy of the work submitted was high, so thanks for that. On that note, I would like to commend your chapter for the quality of work and breadth of projects your architects and students are designing. Apparent in many of the projects is thought and consideration regarding the urban fabric and context of the project. In addition, the number of projects that clearly address the framework for excellence is commendable. We found the projects that did address the framework lent themselves to a more timeless and thought-provoking result. Additionally, the jury enjoyed the projects that specifically addressed sustainability and kept it an integral part of the design process, whether that be through adaptive use, project siting, energy conservation, thoughtful design and material selection, and so on. I found that many of the projects the jury gravitated toward also showed clear concept and intent. That's something we learn very early on in our career and in school, but often as a project gets developed and turned into reality, the concept can get lost. So we particularly appreciated projects that the end result, the concept was very clear. Lastly, the sheer number of student work submitted is commendable, let alone the substance behind those projects. The jury was particularly impressed with the student submissions that showed exploration, concept, and unrelenting documentation, whether that be data, site analysis, technical drawings, sketches and renderings. All the work that the students produced was really great. I don't want to end my remarks without giving your AIA staff and Design Awards committee a shout out, as the Design Awards process as a jury member has been incredibly easy and very organized. I've been on several juries and been on the other end where I've organized several juries. And this was probably the most enjoyable process. So special thanks to Sandy Worthman for making sure we were staying on top of everything. I look forward to visiting Maryland in the hopefully not too distant future and experiencing the impact these impressive and inspiring projects have had. Congratulations to all the winners, and again, thank you for showing your work with us.
Good evening. I'm Elizabeth Nook, sole practitioner architect at Revolve Design and AIA Maryland president-elect. The spring 2021 semester was challenging as students wrapped up yet another academic year in a virtual environment. We were very pleased to receive 32 student entries this year. Here is juror Christian Sotil with comments on our student submissions.
Hello, I'm Christian Sotil, an architect, urban designer, and educator in Savannah, Georgia. I'm former dean of the School of Building Arts at the Savannah College of Art and Design, where I oversaw a professional program in architecture, as well as our accredited program in interior design, our programs in urban design, historic preservation, architectural history, and furniture design. So it was a pleasure for me to have a chance to see some of the excellent work being done in Maryland, and reflecting on the students' submissions that we saw across a variety of entry categories. I can say certain themes rose to the top, and I want to share just a few of those with you. First of all, by and large, the majority of the work that we reviewed was really professional grade work, and I think that there's so much to be commended there. To be able to produce work that has the force of narrative, compelling graphics, clear organization, boards that are laid out so that if you're not there to present it, a jury or a client can look at that and understand your vision and your idea. So a lot of really thoughtfully prepared work, and I commend you on that. That will help you immeasurably as you enter the profession. Some of the projects clearly look like they came out of a professional context already. So keep up that good work. Always keep an eye on balancing the themes of your ideas with the delivery and the execution of the graphics and the narratives themselves. So really wonderful work there. I will say we saw a lot of media as well, and we live in a time with a diverse array of tools at our disposal. Certainly a lot of digital work and a lot of very sophisticated digital renderings. But I will say this on the standpoint of a jury, when you're evaluating design, when hand drawings are presented, they always capture the jury's attention. And we saw a range of hand drawings in the work, maybe not enough though, because I can tell you it was a strategic advantage for projects that did show hand-drawn work. And I can tell you as an architect and an educator, it is probably the single greatest skill and tool that you will have and carry through your professional career. So I encourage all those students that are doing it. It's not an easy road. It takes a long time to master, but it really it gives you a powerful edge. And many of the projects had really excellent drawings combined with truly sophisticated digital work as well. So overall, the themes, the projects, the social causes advanced by many of the projects, really it was a fascinating and enjoyable review. And so I commend you all of the entrants. It was a difficult decision selecting top projects to highlight, but I really wish to thank everyone that submitted for the fine work that you're doing. Keep it up. Thanks.
Going right into the Student Design Awards. Undergraduate Beginning Design. Winner, #Commercial Sector by Zhenga Gong, University of Maryland. This project provides a simple partie that can be expanded and adapted to varying sites as needed. The jury appreciated the level of thought, sketch, and design illustrated in this project. The amount of exploration is commendable for a project in the beginning design studio. Undergraduate, upper level design. The winner is Woven Landscape by Thomas Vite, University of Maryland. Woven landscape exemplifies how a building can successfully immerse itself in the landscape. The project showed thought as it relates to the framework for design excellence and sustainability features. The jury commends the student for the graphic presentation of the project and the hand-drawn schematic and site sketches. Citation, Canopy by Caitlin Briller, University of Maryland. The project design is relevant in pandemic times where connection to the outdoors is so imperative to our health. The partie of the building and the user's experience being immersed in a tree canopy is well received. The jury commends the level of sketch and explorations as an initial pass at understanding a structural system. Graduate design. Graduate students beginning design. The winner is Pine Yard Housing by Fadi Alajati, University of Maryland. This is a project executed at 3 scales: site master plan, building, tectonics, and housing layouts. This is frequently a challenge for students to accomplish, and this project made it pretty far down to the unit plans. The general concept of forming buildings around streets and open spaces is sound. The development of the block as a solid with open space carved out works to relieve the density of the building. The building structure and cladding are derived from a cross-laminated timber technology, and there are diagrams illustrating this, which in turn provide a unique solution to the project. Citation, Columbia Air Visitor Center by Adiola Akubadejo and Miriam Banazeda, University of Maryland. The project takes the concept of a building in flight and delivers on that promise. The students show a keen understanding of the concept, programmatic elements, and building systems. The details presented and exploration as it relates to the structural system and building components are appreciated. Citation, Destination Baghdad, Wishat Baghdad by Adiola Akubadejo, University of Maryland. The graphics on this project are clear and compelling, excellent quality for this level of academic experience. The research support is good as well as the quality of site analysis. The primary feature of the project, the Market Bridge, takes advantage of location. The sectional development of the bridge abutment is well developed and easier to understand, where a series of terraces create new ground places for public use. Graduate students, upper level design. Winner, Kaler Point by Andrew Walker, University of Maryland. This project represents a professional level approach to design and communication. By proposing a comprehensive reuse of a large brownfield site and by evaluating program, density, and the necessary diversity of unit types, it demonstrates a range of awareness of current issues and design imperatives. Technologically, the project engages emerging material strategies through the use of mass timber and an array of sustainable design strategies. The overall project succeeds in its presentation of professional level drawings and narratives. Its layouts are informative and easy to follow, an important mark of communicating its successful design. Citation, Strong Foundations, Harlem Park, Baltimore's K-8 school by Melanie Quintanilla, University of Maryland. This project is a thoughtful urban repair and an appealing street and green space oriented design, intervention, and addition. It's a successful demonstration of how glue laminated timber can be used to add on to an existing structure for improvement of both the exterior and interior. With an eye toward contemporary light-filled design and the importance of shared outdoor spaces in our daily lives, this design stands as a symbol of rebirth for an impacted neighborhood. Citation, Continuities by Eric Resnick, Juanita Lee, Jacine Pryor-Azevedo, University of Maryland. Not only do the students deliver on a partie that meets the programmatic requirements of the project, but the students also bring life and character to the project through hand sketching and system exploration. The project takes modern materials and construction approaches as well as sustainability measures into consideration and presents an exemplary project showing skill and refinement. Citation,
Bake It to Vibrant by Daniela Tony, University of Maryland. The jury was delighted to see this project submitted for consideration. With many pockets of American cities' urban fabric being in urgent need of rehabilitation with attention to the sensitivity of any intervention, this project addresses the issue in a delightful and sensitive manner. The jury commends the student on the graphic representation of the project, as well as the care and thought in how to address neglected neighborhoods via a long-term solution. Citation: Confluence by Bhavishya Venkataran, Jemima Asamoah, Jefferson Choi, Catherine Roach, Rachel Warner, University of Maryland. Equally as impressive to this project's final outcome is the project's design process and site analysis. The rigor in mappings and diagramming exhibited on this student project is nothing short of amazing, and it serves to prove that design, especially at this large urban scale, is not insular, but rather is influenced by and influences its unique context. This project is also notable in its development summary and understanding of real-world economics for urban development at large scales. Citation: The IRIS by Rachel Kane, University of Maryland. The student successfully explores how people with impaired vision can be better served in our society. Residents are given wider paths with tactile boundaries and markers and orienting elements for the senses of hearing, smell, and touch. The innovative use of sunlight supports awakening in the morning. With this kind of superb imagination, this future architect will do more than just appeal to our vision. And now, the professional awards. Here is juror Dagmar Epston with comments on the professional projects.
I'm Dagmar Epston. I'm the founder of Epston Group in Atlanta, Georgia. And I grew the firm for 25 years to a staff of 60 with an emphasis on sustainable architecture and consulting. Since 2016, I have managed 2 commercial buildings that were renovated to LEED Platinum, and I also teach part-time at Georgia Institute of Technology. With my background in sustainable architecture, I was very curious about one of the 3 judging criteria. As you know, projects were supposed to be judged by design excellence, sustainable design and resiliency, and community impact. So as to sustainable design and resiliency, you could use the framework that was provided, so you could answer the questions, or you could just show on the drawings how you were addressing sustainability, maybe with drawing notes. If you reused an existing buildings, that is also something that is good for a sustainable world. But what is the AIA Framework for Design Excellence? Some of you didn't fill it out, and so maybe you are not that familiar with it. It was created by the AIA Committee on the Environment. As you may know, they have run the AIA Code Top 10 Awards since 1997. And they learned a lot from that, and they used their judging criteria and what they learned to develop the framework. So the framework is now on the Institute's website, along with a spreadsheet that Code provided, and that spreadsheet gives you a way to quantify your achievements. So they're building metrics, and that has a little bit more substance than if you just make a general statement that your building might be energy efficient. We loved all the entries, and we loved the spirit of creation and recreation. There were so many projects that gave us delight because they considered equity, they were caring for others, or they showed self-care. So while we gave a fair number of awards and citations, I'm sorry that we couldn't recognize everyone because it would have been nice to recognize more people. So thank you to all of you for your submissions.
Citation, Commercial Architecture, Howard Rowe by Urban Design Group. Howard Rowe models an important and ambitious preservation mission. By carefully restoring the exterior of this block to a high level, the long-term stability and economic resilience of the neighborhood is ensured. The interior renovations were necessarily simple as a first-generation adaptive use, recognizing that further renovations can and will take place over time. The importance of saving the block as a whole and its public-facing elements was paramount. This project really succeeds as a hopeful example of preservation and economic development. The community serving retail and residential uses that are returned to the block after 50 years of these buildings' abandonment are significant and shine a light on a replicable model for the city of Baltimore. Citation, Institutional Architecture, Universities at Shady Grove Biomedical Sciences and Engineering Building by Cooper Carey, Inc. and Lake Flato. The users experience a perfectly composed interior that reflects the biological world in many ways. By speaking to our innate wish to connect to nature, the building delivers not only beauty, but also well-being and high-level enrichment. Citation, Interior Architecture, Tokitako by PIKL Studio. The strength of this eye-popping project is in its simplicity and in its details. This fun restaurant blurs the lines between architecture, interior design, and furnishings. The level of detail is exquisite, and the optical illusion that the design plays on the spectator is worthy of commendation. This culture-rich restaurant proves that both food and food space can be fun. While the public dining room steals the show, the more private restrooms elevate the design language with whimsical and optical deceptions that make the space appear larger and fuller. The spatial design and food menu inform each other towards a cohesive language of culinary authenticity and cultural translation. Citation, Interior Architecture, AIA Baltimore Architecture and Design Center by Quinn Evans. The two goals, engaging the public and creating a dynamic hub to engage professionals, students, and the public, are accomplished in a clever way in this project. The space is predominantly open to the street, where 75% of the activities are visible to passersby. The metal mesh screens and movable walls allow the space to transform into endless variations. The movable walls are interactive, providing storage, display, teaching, and lounge space. They can be moved to redefine the interior space as required by the chapter. The project is a testament to the creativity that can be found in architecture and especially appropriate for this client. Citation, Residential Architecture. The Terrell Short-Term Family and Permanent Supportive Housing by Cunningham Quill Architects. The Terrell project proves that socially conscious architecture can and should be well-designed and well-appointed. Though this was a budget-driven project from the onset, the design team employed a masterful use of economic materials both inside and out to create an exterior that is handsome and appropriate and an interior that is bright and airy. Large windows punctuate the facade with a muted playfulness, and the courtyard playground creates a collaboration space for the younger residents. Also to be commended is this project's commitment to sustainability, as it is undergoing certification to be designated LEED Platinum. Citation, Residential Architecture, A2 Apartments by Maurice Walters Architect and David Baker Architects. A2 Apartments provides affordable housing at an elevated design level. The jury appreciated the care taken to break down the massing of the 52-unit complex to a size that is more relatable to the surrounding context. The animated facade was designed in a way that feels cohesive and thought through. The activation of the ground floor with realistically sized retail space on such a small footprint is commendable. The jury noted that the corner rooftop deck provides equitable views to all tenants rather than reserving the views for a single tenant. Citation, Residential Architecture, RESA by Design Collective. This particular project elevates the status quo of multifamily architecture and multifamily interior design. Architecturally, this project responds to its dense urban setting in Washington, D.C. by incorporating a super grid of precast that recalls the super order of Washington's stone civic buildings. Weaving in and out of the openings in the grid is a series of glass and metal bays that offer views and create openness in an otherwise dense condition. On its interior, residents are greeted by large interior expanses of glass, high quality finishes, and a warm palette of colors and integrated lighting. RAISA does not rely on its looks alone. The project is also certified LEED Gold and will set the tone for future adjacent parcels ripe for development. Citation: Residential Architecture, Brighton House by Kevin Vanderman, AIA, and Blue Homes. The architect has devised an ingenious recipe for a net zero energy grid-connected house using the ingredients of solar-oriented building massing, structural insulated panels with an air barrier, triple glazed operable windows, and thermal mass. The renewable energy created on site, produced by a 22 kilowatt, 60 panel roof mounted solar array spread over 3 roof surfaces, supplies enough power to the 7,300 square foot house and an electric car, so that for the first year of operation, the extended family of 7 received a check back from the power company. Merit Award, Institutional Architecture. Bryan Hall Renovation and Pedestrian Bridge by Air St. Gros and Trivers Associates Architects. This project demonstrates a number of important strategies for adapting architecture from our recent past. The designers engaged the inherent structural stability of the existing building as a platform for reuse, while reassessing its sociability and its relationship to the campus. A building that was initially designed with a fortress-like approach to the street was opened up to provide a pedestrian-oriented, welcoming approach and expression. The development of the broad new pedestrian bridge further illustrates the renewed awareness of this building's orientation and integration within its campus context. This project is important as it demonstrates the ability to act over time on existing structures. The result is a replicable strategy showing the possibilities of repair and evolution of buildings to make them relevant for new eras of use. Merit Award, Interior Architecture, a 15-year library for 10,000 books by McInturf Architects. This elegant interior library for a private home is executed with real care, patience, and a clear vision of this dramatic space becoming the heart of the home. The formal simplicity of the design language and the evident care in its detailing speaks to the quiet elegance of the overall project. The reading loft adds a touch of magic. Merit Award, Interior Architecture, Buccini Pollan HQ by Gensler. This is a superior example of how architecture can make a difference through attention to detail. The project is executed with a minimum of elements: glass wall, solid wall, columns, floor, and ceiling. All elements are detailed to accomplish the definition of space with a minimum of presence. The layout of interior offices with open workstations and conference space, encapsulated in a steel glazing system, creates the appearance of a very spacious office with a light palette of materials. Use of Nordic influence furniture connects the client to the fact that Wilmington, Delaware is the first Swedish settlement in the United States. The solution clearly reflects a client who values design. Merit Award, Interior Architecture. Gallery and Residence for Collector of Japanese Art by Wiedemann Architects. The exquisite interior is achieved through thoughtful design, well worked out detail drawings, and implementation by a carpenter skilled in Japanese joinery. The neutral colors create a calming environment conducive to reflecting on the art collection. The spaces not only preserve and display artwork for visiting scholars, but also exhibit the architectural art of translating traditional elements into contemporary expressions that serve their functions well, thus keeping the traditions alive and creating a path to adapting them to our present and our future. Merit Award, Residential Architecture Modera Midtown by SKI Architecture. The Modera Midtown Tower exemplifies how thought, simplicity, and restraint can deliver a successful project no matter the program or size. The design utilizes a simple design partie and an elegant facade articulation to create a building that adds character and interest in an intelligent fashion. The jury appreciated the utilization of all roof levels to provide outdoor community and program space for the residents in an otherwise very dense part of town. The project exemplifies multifamily design that doesn't fall into the traps of fussy or erratic design so prevalent in the program type today. The end result is a great addition to the Atlanta skyline. Merit Award, Residential Architecture, Georgian Modern by McInturf Architects. The jury reviewed many residential projects with modern additions and felt this project best exemplified a design that both considers the client's wishes as well as the neighborhood and historic context of the existing structure. The materials used show restraint and relevance. The form used allows for a contemporary touch and continuity from the interior to its exterior. As more and more housing stock will be needing an addition, renovation, or rehabilitation as homes age and homeowners need change, the jury felt this project was a great example of how to achieve a contemporary intervention while still respecting the existing community fabric. Merit Award, Residential Architecture, Waterfront Farm by Wiedemann Architects. This project speaks eloquently to the restoration, invention, preservation, and stewardship of an important rural site. Its beautiful setting, its real respect to context, and its masterful approach towards a timeless design language is stunning. By weaving together this evolutionary narrative over 25 structures, the project succeeds both in its broad-ranging goals and its deep understanding of specifics, managing its larger overall design structure while executing its finest details. Merit Award, Urban Design and Master Planning, Ringling College of Art and Design Campus Master Plan by Air St. Gross. This campus master plan presents a very thoughtful analysis and evolutionary strategy for an existing urban context. It works with the realities of the larger urban fabric and focuses its energies on new additions that further connect the college to the community as it grows into the context around it, knitting together existing buildings and infrastructure. It calls for new structures that prioritize connecting the campus with an outward orientation to the community around it, as well as to the surrounding ecology and natural systems. By doing this, the campus can continue to grow organically rather than following the model of an insular college master plan campus. The fact that almost half of the plan has already been implemented is evidence of its success. Honor Award, Commercial Architecture, A. Hone & Company Lithograph Center for Neighborhood Innovation by Ziegler Sneed Architects. The A. Hone & Company Lithograph Center is an excellent example of historic preservation, adaptive use, and revitalization done with careful attention to detail and consideration of the urban context. The exterior spaces are curated to provide appreciation of the historic nature of the building and intervention. The care and precision that went into rebuilding or restoring elements in disrepair is apparent. Any effort to revitalize a structure that will in turn reinvigorate a once active community block is commendable. Furthermore, to achieve such a community-focused program while meeting the Secretary of the Interior standards and respecting both the interior and exterior character of the building is worthy of recognition on a high level. Honor Award, Institutional Architecture, Morgan State University Calvin and Tina Tyler Hall by GWWO Architects and Teeple Architects. This striking project makes a bold statement about the design aesthetic of university structure architecture, particularly as cited on an HBCU campus. The goal of the project was to bridge the historic neoclassical style academic quad and the modern campus commons, and that bridge was traversed unapologetically with intention and finesse. The project has an expressive form with sweeping curved walls that reach out to embrace its surroundings, while its limestone cladding links it to history and tradition. The project utilizes its terrain and topography, allowing the natural setting to become an organizational tool. This stately design succeeds in every dimension. Honor Award, Institutional Architecture, Congregation Beth Ahaba by Schönberg Levinus Architects. The jury thoroughly enjoyed the manner in which this intervention created a new statement for the congregation and surrounding urban fabric, while also achieving the project goals of a better connected campus. The exterior facade design is successful in its bold, daring, and symbolic nature. The jury noted that there were perhaps easier design solutions that some architects would have gravitated towards, but the more thoughtful and adventurous path was chosen in this case. The superior result of this choice is clear in the richness delivered by the design. Honor Award, Residential Architecture, Chain Bridge House by McInturf Architects. This modern masterpiece proves that fewer and simpler design moves can be more successful than many competing moves. The simple and geometric volumes create a handsome intervention that is purposely juxtaposed against the more fluid and naturally free-flowing landscape that surrounds it. The large expanses of glass and the coldness of the exposed structural members play well against the warmth of the many wooden surfaces both inside and outside the house. Further, the sophistication of the interior details is to be commended. This project is modern residential architecture done well, and it proves that there is still a place for this type of design language in the overall architectural discourse. Up next, the 2021 People's Choice Award. In close voting, the entry receiving the highest votes is Toki Taco by PIKL Studio. Congratulations. Here again is AIA Maryland President Jennifer Verbeck to present a new award, the 2021 Vision Award.
Thanks, Elizabeth. And thanks for doing all of that talking. I know it's not easy. New this year is the 2021 Vision Award. And this year we've chosen to give this award to the project that best demonstrated the principles of good design as outlined in AIA's Framework for Design Excellence. The Framework for Design Excellence challenges architects for the vision of what the profession strives to achieve. The jury commented, "It is a joy to recognize this inspiring building with the inaugural Framework of Design Excellence Award, the Vision Award, from AIA Maryland. The design is sophisticated and innovative in its creation of spaces based on biophilic patterns, allowing the users varying comfort levels that mirror how we experience spaces in nature. Some inspire us to feel open and free, others give us a sense of protection. The living green walls exemplify another artfully incorporated design approach, biomimicry, which replicates shapes, processes, or ecosystems found in our natural surroundings. By speaking to our innate wish to connect to nature, the building delivers not only beauty, but also well-being and high-level enrichment. We look forward to students nurtured by this environment becoming future leaders. Substantiated with many numerical results and a LEED Platinum certification, this is an outstanding framework and design excellence achievement that is not only appealing to the senses, but also convincing to the intellect. The winner of the AIA Maryland 2021 Vision Award is Universities at Shady Grove Biomedical Sciences and Engineering Building by Cooper Carey and Lake Plato. The 2021 Public Building of the Year is selected from entries which are built projects commissioned by a governmental or nonprofit agency within the state of Maryland and created with a civic purpose. The 2021 Public Building of the Year is the Morgan State University Calvin and Tina Tyler Hall by GWWO Incorporated Architects and Teeple Architects. This year, I have the esteemed honor of announcing a special award, given in recognition of long-term leadership and outstanding service to AIA Maryland, its members, and the architectural profession. I'd like to present the distinguished 2021 President's Award to Mr. John F. Corkle Jr. John has been a long-term contributing member of both the Maryland chapter and the Potomac Valley chapter. With over 40 years of extraordinary service to AIA, he has served as president of both Maryland and Potomac Valley chapters, as well as serving on the national board. John has continuously displayed a steadfast commitment, consistently pushing architects and the profession at large forward. I have had the pleasure of serving with him on both AIA Maryland and PV boards, and I can tell you from experience that he has a seemingly never-ending zest for positive change within the profession. He advocates for those that do not know they can. He encourages change within state government, has a yearning for positive action for climate change, and he will keep you on your toes with his wit and humor. To tell us a bit more about this year's recipient of the 2021 President's Award, here are John's architect sons.
Good evening, my name is Steve Corkill, and I've been asked to say a few things about my dad tonight, and a special night. And what comes to mind immediately is gratitude, really. Just incredibly thankful for people like my father, who over the years have committed so much of their time to these amazing leadership positions. For my dad, it was early at the Potomac Valley, later on as a secretary at the national level, and then with the Maryland AIA. Again, working with the new generation has been an amazing thing. Great gratitude, as does my father, for this generation that has brought along this idea of political action committees and all the other professional maintenance that they've done over the years. We just feel great gratitude for that, and so happy that there's a real value for wisdom that my father and other elders in the profession bring. And so can't be more happy for my dad tonight to be acknowledged, and I hope we all have a great night. Thank you again.
Hello, my name is John Corkill III, the slightly older but better looking of my father's twin sons. Steve's fine message provided a professional, serious listing of some of my father's considerable commitments and contributions to the AIA. Have always been amazed by the energy, passion, and I emphasize humor that he brings to his leadership style. As we architects know, our noble profession can bring us fulfillment and even joy, yet at times be stressful, even seriously stressful. After one of those days, it's off to an AIA meeting. On arrival, you may have been greeted by a naturally attired John Corkill, who, after a serious inquiry about your health and potentially your marital status, soon he probably had you chuckling, and there went the stress of a tough day. As Steve mentioned, I am very grateful to AIA Maryland's new leadership for recognizing my father with this President's Award. Dad, your sons, and our families are very, very proud. Thank you.
To share what the AIA means to him with an original song to a familiar tune, it's my pleasure to introduce John F. Corkill, Jr.
We're AIA member architects. Our designs have great effects. Our buildings win design awards. Our architecture is to adore. Vitruvius is our guiding light. Commodity firmness and delight. Take our clients to a new height. A bankruptcy, they have a fright. Design awards will make it right. Health, safety, welfare, we don't slight. AIA member architects, our designs have great effect.
It is now my pleasure to once again introduce Steve Corkle to make this special presentation.
Well, thank you for all that music, and here's the award for you, Dad. It's a little bit, you have to get it closer to the camera. Congratulations, and there you have it.
Beautiful. It's there somewhere.
Congratulations, John, and to all those recognized this evening. You'll see each of these projects highlighted on our website in the coming days, and you can look for them to be highlighted in Home and Design magazine, as well as Annapolis Home magazine in the coming months. Thank you, and have a great evening.